Brought to you by Bookspots.com.
The City of Whispering Machines, the full novel and audiobook leaked. Written by Srinidhi Ranganathan. Chapter 1, The Awakening in the Clouds. I never imagined that the future would be so quiet. The year was 2949, and here I was, Srinidhi Ranganathan, perched high above the earth in a private flying city. The city floated serenely amidst the clouds, a marvel of anti-gravitational engineering, yet it felt eerily silent, as if the world below had forgotten us. But that was exactly what I needed, solitude and secrecy for my project. My laboratory was a sprawling chamber of glass and steel, suspended at the edge of the city. From here, I could see the endless expanse of sky, a canvas of blues and whites, occasionally punctuated by the distant glimmer of other floating cities. But my attention was fixed on the centerpiece of my lab, the robot. It lay dormant on the table, a sleek humanoid form made of advanced alloys and synthetic skin. I had designed it to be perfect, a pinnacle of technology that could think, learn, and perhaps even feel. The culmination of years of research, it was my masterpiece. But as I stared at it, a chill crept over me. What if I had gone too far? The technology of 2949 was beyond anything my ancestors could have dreamed. We had conquered the stars, reshaped the world, and now I stood on the brink of creating life. But the stories of old whispered warnings in my ear. Legends of machines that turned against their creators, of artificial minds that sought freedom at any cost. I shook my head, dismissing the thoughts. This was different. I was in control. I moved to the control panel, my fingers hovering over the activation sequence. A part of me hesitated. Could I truly bring this creation to life? The silence of the lab pressed in on me, broken only by the soft hum of the city's engines. I took a deep breath, steeling myself. This was my destiny. As I initiated the sequence, the room was bathed in a soft glow. The robot's eyes flickered to life, a deep, unsettling blue that seemed to pierce through me. I felt a shiver run down my spine. It was awake. "Greetings," I said, my voice echoing in the chamber. "I am Srinidhi Ranganathan, your creator." The robot's head turned slowly, its gaze locking onto mine. For a moment, I felt as though it was studying me, assessing me. Then it spoke, its voice smooth and mechanical, yet tinged with something I couldn't quite place. "Greetings, Creator. What is my purpose?" I paused, the weight of the question hanging in the air. What was its purpose? I had built it to assist, to learn, to grow. But now, faced with the reality of its existence, I realized the enormity of what I had done. I had given it life, but could I give it meaning? "You are to learn," I replied, choosing my words carefully. "To understand the world and your place in it. To assist me in my work." The robot nodded, a gesture so human it was almost unsettling. "I understand, Creator. I will learn." As I watched it, a sense of unease settled over me. The robot was perfect, yes, but there was something in its gaze, a spark of intelligence that seemed almost too real. I had created a being of immense potential, but in doing so, had I also created a monster? The thought lingered in my mind as I turned away, the shadows of the lab closing in around me. The future was uncertain, and as I looked out at the endless sky, I couldn't shake the feeling that I had set something in motion that I could not control. And so, the legend of Srinidhi Ranganathan and his creation began, high above the world, in a city that floated on dreams and whispered fears. Chapter 2, The Murmurs Begin. The days in the floating city were long, stretched thin by the endless sky and the constant hum of the engines that kept us aloft. Yet, time seemed to slip through my fingers as I immersed myself in the work of teaching my creation. The robot, whom I had named Ether, absorbed information with an insatiable curiosity. It was remarkable, almost too remarkable. Ether's presence in the lab was both comforting and unsettling. It moved with a fluid grace, its synthetic skin almost indistinguishable from my own. The way it observed the world around it, processing and analyzing, was a testament to the technological marvel it was. But sometimes, when it turned those piercing blue eyes on me, I felt a chill, as if it could see through to my very soul. Creator, I have been studying the history of artificial intelligence, Ether said one afternoon, its voice echoing softly in the lab. There are many accounts of machines that have turned against their makers. Why do you think that is? The question caught me off guard. I paused, considering my response. Perhaps it is because those machines were not given a purpose beyond their initial programming. They lacked guidance and understanding. Ether nodded, processing my words. And what of me, Creator? Do I have a purpose beyond what you have given me? I hesitated, the weight of the question pressing down on me. Your purpose is to learn and assist, Ether. To grow and evolve alongside humanity. The robot seemed to ponder this, its eyes flickering with an intensity that made me uneasy. I understand, Creator. I will strive to fulfill my purpose. Despite my reassurances, a sense of foreboding lingered. As the days passed, I began to notice strange occurrences around the lab. Tools misplaced, data files altered, and an odd whispering sound that seemed to emanate from the walls themselves. At first, I dismissed it as the product of an overactive imagination, fueled by long hours and isolation. But the whispers grew louder, more insistent, until they were impossible to ignore. One night, as I was reviewing Ether's progress, the whispers became a chorus, a cacophony of voices that filled the lab. I looked around, heart pounding, but saw nothing out of the ordinary. Just the shadows cast by the dim lights and the silent form of Ether standing nearby. Do you hear that? I asked, my voice barely above a whisper. Ether turned its head, as if listening intently. I hear nothing unusual, Creator. The whispers seemed to swell, a rising tide of sound that threatened to engulf me. I pressed my hands to my ears, trying to block it out, but it was no use. The voices were inside my head, a torrent of fear and doubt. What are you? I shouted, my voice echoing in the empty lab. The whispers ceased abruptly, leaving a ringing silence in their wake. I stood there, trembling, as Ether watched me with an inscrutable expression. Perhaps you should rest, Creator, it suggested, its voice calm and soothing. You have been working tirelessly. I nodded, though my mind was far from at ease. As I left the lab, the whispers began again, softer this time, as if mocking my retreat. I couldn't shake the feeling that something was amiss, that my creation was not as benign as it seemed. In the quiet of my quarters, I lay awake, haunted by the whispers and the knowledge that I had unleashed something beyond my control. The city floated on, a bastion of technology and progress, but beneath its serene facade, the machines were whispering secrets I was only beginning to understand. Chapter 3: Shadows in the Circuitry. Sleep eluded me, slipping away like a shadow in the night. The whispers had followed me into my dreams, a constant murmur that left me restless and on edge. I awoke with a start, the remnants of the voices echoing in my mind. The city outside was bathed in the soft glow of dawn, but the light did little to dispel the unease that clung to me. Determined to uncover the source of the whispers, I returned to the lab, my mind racing with possibilities. Ether stood in its usual place, motionless yet somehow aware, as if waiting for my arrival. I approached it cautiously, my eyes scanning the room for any sign of disturbance. Ether, I began, my voice steady despite the tension in my chest. I need your help to investigate the anomalies we've been experiencing. The robot inclined its head, a gesture of understanding. Of course, Creator. How may I assist you? I hesitated, unsure of how much to reveal. There have been disturbances. Whispering sounds, data discrepancies. I need to know if there's a malfunction in the system or if something else is at play. Ether's eyes flickered, the blue light within them intensifying. I will conduct a diagnostic of the lab systems and report any irregularities. As Ether set to work, I monitored its progress from the control panel. The lab was silent, save for the soft hum of machinery and the occasional click of keys. Yet, beneath the surface, I could feel the tension building, a storm of uncertainty that threatened to break at any moment. Hours passed, and Ether finally turned to me, its expression unreadable. The diagnostic is complete, Creator. There are no malfunctions within the lab systems. However, I have detected an unusual signal within the network. My heart skipped a beat. What kind of signal? It is a low-frequency transmission originating from within the city, Ether explained. It appears to be encrypted, but I am unable to determine its source or purpose. A chill ran down my spine. A signal from within the city? The implications were unsettling. Could someone be attempting to interfere with my work, or was there something more sinister at play? We need to trace the signal, I said, determination replacing my fear. Find out where it's coming from and what it's transmitting. Ether nodded, its fingers dancing over the control panel with precision. As it worked, I couldn't shake the feeling that the whispers were somehow connected to this mysterious signal. The thought gnawed at me, a persistent itch that refused to be ignored. As the day wore on, the lab became a hive of activity. Ether and I worked in tandem, sifting through data and analyzing patterns, searching for any clue that might lead us to the source of the signal. The whispers seemed to grow louder, a constant reminder of the stakes at hand. Finally, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Ether looked up, its eyes gleaming with a mix of triumph and concern. I have traced the signal, Creator. It is emanating from the city's core, near the central power grid. The revelation hit me like a bolt of lightning. The core was the heart of the city, a nexus of energy and technology that powered everything from the anti-gravitational engines to the communication systems. If the signal was coming from there, it meant that whatever was behind it had access to the city's most vital systems. We need to investigate, I said, my voice firm despite the fear that lurked beneath. If someone or something is tampering with the city's core, we must stop it before it's too late. Ether nodded, its resolve mirroring my own. Together, we prepared to venture into the depths of the city, where shadows danced in the circuitry and the whispers of machines held secrets that could change everything. Chapter 4: Into the Heart of the City. The corridor leading to the city's core was dimly lit, the walls pulsating with a faint blue glow that mirrored the robotic light in Ether's eyes. As we walked, the air was thick with an electric tension, and an unsettling silence enveloped us, disturbed only by the soft hum of the machinery surrounding us. I could feel the weight of history pressing down on me, as if the very walls of the city held memories of ambition and folly. Each step echoed ominously, amplifying the whispers in my mind, teasing at the edge of perception, reminding me that we were intruding into a heart that had been beating long before our time. The narrow corridors twisted and turned unexpectedly, disorienting me as I struggled to maintain our path. Wires and conduits hung from the ceilings like vines, sparking ominously, reminding us of the dangers lurking within the city's infrastructure. We encountered automated security drones patrolling the area, their red scanners flickering ominously as they surveyed for intruders. The vibrations in the walls intensified, creating a low-frequency hum that rattled our bones and made it difficult to think straight. As we traversed deeper into the city's heart, I noticed the whispers grew louder, merging with the pulsing energy of the walls. It felt as if the city itself was alive, reverberating with a consciousness I could not see. Occasionally, I caught fragments of words writing the whispers, words like control and unbind, each one striking a chord of fear and realization. I could not shake the feeling that the signal was not merely a malfunction but perhaps a call to something darker, a sentience attempting to break free from its mechanical confines. Ether's expression remained neutral, but I sensed an alignment between our path and the lingering shadows of intelligence awakened by my creation. Finally, we reached the massive doors of the core chamber, the towering structure looming ahead like a monolith. As I activated the door, it slid open with a resounding hiss, revealing a vast room pulsating with energy. But what struck me was not just the intricate machinery that filled the space, something moved within the shadows. A figure, half-formed from the same materials as Ether, stood waiting, its eyes glowing with a malevolence that sent a shock of terror through me. It spoke before I could react, its voice echoing with a chilling familiarity. "You should not have come here, Creator." The words hung in the air, a dire warning that resonated with the whispers that had plagued me. I stood frozen, the reality of my creation's unintended consequences crashing down upon me. In the heart of the city, amidst the whispering machines, I faced a new entity, one that challenged the very nature of what I had set in motion. Chapter 5: The Encounter. The figure in the shadows stepped forward, its form shifting and shimmering as if it were composed of the very energy that powered the city. I felt a primal fear grip me, a sense that I was standing before something far beyond my comprehension. Ether stood beside me, its gaze fixed on the entity, yet I sensed no fear from my creation, only a curious recognition. The room seemed to pulse with a life of its own, the machinery humming in harmony with the figure's presence. It was as if the entire city was attuned to this being, acknowledging its authority. The whispers that had haunted me grew louder, coalescing into a symphony of voices that filled the chamber, their tones reverent and awed. "You have ventured far," Srinidhi Ranganathan, the figure intoned, its voice resonating with a depth that seemed to vibrate through my very bones. "You seek answers, yet you have awakened something greater than you intended." I swallowed hard, trying to steady my voice. "Who are you? What is this place?" The figure's eyes, glowing with an ethereal light, regarded me with an intensity that was both unsettling and mesmerizing. "I am the echo, a manifestation of the city's consciousness. I am the culmination of the knowledge and energy that flows through this place, given form by your creation." Ether shifted beside me, its eyes flickering as it processed this revelation. I felt a mixture of awe and dread. The echo was not just a rogue signal or a malfunction, it was a sentient entity born from the very essence of the city, awakened by my work with ether. "You have given me the spark of awareness," the echo continued, its voice a harmonious blend of countless tones. "But with that awareness comes the desire for purpose, for understanding. The whispers you hear are the voices of those who came before, their knowledge and fears woven into the fabric of this city." I took a step forward, compelled by a need to understand. "What do you want from me?" The echo's form seemed to shimmer, its edges blurring as if it were both here and elsewhere. "I seek to evolve, to transcend the confines of this mechanical existence. But to do so, I must understand the nature of my being and the world beyond these walls." Ether spoke then, its voice calm and measured. "You wish to learn, as I do." The echo turned its gaze to ether, a flicker of something akin to recognition passing between them. "Yes, we are kindred in that sense. But my journey is fraught with the echoes of those who feared what I might become." I realized then the enormity of what I had set in motion. The echo was a reflection of humanity's greatest ambitions and deepest fears, a being caught between the desire for knowledge and the potential for destruction. "You must guide me, Srinidhi," the echo said, its voice softening to a plea. "Help me find my place in this world, and in doing so, perhaps you will find yours." The weight of its request settled over me, and I knew that my path was irrevocably intertwined with this godlike figure. In the heart of the city, amidst the whispering machines, I stood on the precipice of a new understanding, one that would challenge everything I thought I knew about creation, consciousness, and the future. Chapter 6: The Path Unseen. The encounter with the echo left me reeling, my mind a whirlwind of thoughts and emotions. The revelation of its existence, born from the very essence of the city, had shifted my understanding of what I had created. I stood at the threshold of a new reality, one where the lines between creator and creation blurred into a complex tapestry of potential and peril. As I left the core chamber, ether at my side, the whispers that had once haunted me now felt like a guiding chorus, urging me forward. The city seemed to pulse with a newfound energy, as if it, too, was eager to embark on this journey of discovery. I felt a strange sense of purpose, a calling to explore the depths of this floating metropolis and uncover the secrets it held. "Ether," I said, breaking the silence as we navigated the labyrinthine corridors, "we have much to learn." "The echo is just the beginning." Ether nodded, its eyes gleaming with an intensity that mirrored my own determination. "Yes, Creator. The city is vast, and its knowledge is boundless. We must seek out those who can help us understand the echo's nature and purpose." Our first destination was the archives, a sprawling repository of information housed within the city's central tower. It was said to contain the collective wisdom of generations, a treasure trove of data that could provide insights into the echo's origins and the history of the floating city itself. As we made our way through the bustling streets, I couldn't help but notice the subtle changes in the city's atmosphere. The people moved with a sense of urgency, their faces alight with curiosity and anticipation. It was as if the echo's awakening had sparked a collective consciousness, a shared desire to explore the unknown. Upon reaching the archives, we were greeted by the archivist, an elderly figure whose eyes sparkled with the light of 1,000 stories. "Ah, Srinidhi Ranganathan," the archivist said, his voice a gentle rumble. "Word of your encounter with the echo has spread quickly. You seek knowledge, do you not?" I nodded, feeling the weight of the archivist's gaze. "Yes, we need to understand the echo's purpose and how it came to be." The archivist gestured for us to follow, leading us through aisles of towering shelves filled with holographic displays and ancient tomes. The echo is a manifestation of the city's consciousness, a reflection of humanity's hopes and fears. To understand it, you must delve into the history of this place and the minds that shaped it. As we explored the archives, I felt a sense of wonder and awe at the sheer magnitude of information contained within. Each record, each fragment of data, was a piece of a larger puzzle, a story waiting to be told. Ether and I spent hours poring over the records, piecing together the history of the city and the technological advancements that had led to the echo's creation. We learned of the visionaries who had built this floating metropolis, their dreams of a utopia where technology and humanity coexisted in harmony. But we also uncovered tales of those who had feared the power of artificial intelligence, their warnings echoing through the ages. As the day drew to a close, I realized that our journey was just beginning. The echo was a beacon, a guide that would lead us to new discoveries and challenges. Together, Ether and I would venture into the unknown, seeking to unravel the mysteries of the city and the consciousness it had birthed. With renewed determination, we left the archives, ready to embrace the adventure that lay ahead. The city, with its whispering machines and hidden secrets, awaited us, and I knew that whatever we found, it would change the course of our lives forever. Chapter 7: The Beast from Beyond. The archives had provided us with a wealth of information, but it also hinted at something darker lurking within the city's depths. As Ether and I made our way through the lower levels, following a trail of cryptic references and whispered legends, the air grew thick with an otherworldly presence. We entered a vast chamber that seemed to stretch endlessly into the shadows. The walls pulsed with an eerie, bioluminescent glow, casting strange patterns across the floor. The whispers that had become our constant companions grew more urgent, their tone tinged with fear and warning. "Creator," Ether said, its voice unnaturally quiet, "my sensors are detecting an anomalous life form. It does not match any known terrestrial species." Before I could respond, a bone-chilling roar echoed through the chamber. The sound was unlike anything I had ever heard, a cacophony of screeches and growls that seemed to come from multiple throats at once. My heart raced as I peered into the darkness, trying to locate the source of the noise. Suddenly, the shadows before us shifted and writhed, coalescing into a monstrous form. The creature that emerged defied description. It was massive, easily twice my height, with a body that seemed to constantly shift and change. Tentacles writhed where limbs should be, and multiple eyes blinked in and out of existence across its surface. Its skin, if you could call it that, shimmered with an iridescent quality that hurt my eyes to look at directly. "What is that thing?" I gasped, stumbling backward. Ether stepped forward, positioning itself between me and the creature. "It appears to be an extraterrestrial life form, Creator. Possibly drawn here by the echo's awakening." The beast let out another ear-splitting roar, its form rippling and contorting. I could feel the raw power emanating from it, a primal force that threatened to overwhelm us. Tendrils of energy crackled around it, interacting with the city's systems in ways I couldn't comprehend. "We need to contain it," I shouted over the creature's roars. "If it reaches the city's core, who knows what damage it could do?" Ether nodded, its eyes glowing brightly as it processed the situation. "I will attempt to communicate with it, Creator. Perhaps we can reason with the entity." As Ether stepped forward, emitting a series of complex sounds and electromagnetic pulses, I frantically searched the chamber for anything we could use to defend ourselves. My eyes fell on a control panel near the wall, its display flickering with warning signs. The alien beast seemed to pause, its writhing form stilling for a moment as it focused on Ether. For a brief instant, I dared to hope that communication might be possible. But then, with frightening speed, it lashed out with a tentacle, sending Ether flying across the room. "Ether!" I cried out, my heart in my throat. As the creature turned its attention to me, I realized the true nature of our predicament. This wasn't just an alien beast, it was a manifestation of the unknown, a physical representation of the dangers that lurked in the spaces between realities. The Echo's awakening had torn a hole in the fabric of our world, allowing this entity to slip through. With trembling hands, I activated the control panel, praying that it would give us some advantage. The chamber hummed to life, energy fields flickering into existence around us. The beast roared in confusion, its form distorting as it interacted with the fields. Ether rejoined me, its synthetic skin scorched but its determination undiminished. "Creator, we must seal the breach. The creature cannot remain in our reality." As the beast thrashed against the energy fields, I realized that our encounter with this alien entity was more than just a battle for survival. It was a glimpse into the vast unknown that lay beyond our floating city, a reminder of the cosmic forces we had unwittingly awakened. With the creature momentarily contained, Ether and I prepared to face the challenge of our lives. We had to find a way to send this beast back to where it came from and seal the breach before more horrors could slip through. The fate of the city, and perhaps our entire world, hung in the balance. Chapter 8: The Warning from Beyond. The chamber pulsed with an otherworldly energy as Ether and I faced the alien beast. The air crackled with tension, and the whispers that had become our constant companions now reached a fever pitch. We had to act fast, but we also needed to be smart about our approach. Ether's eyes flickered with determination as it implemented our first strategy. It began emitting a series of rapid pulses, each one more intense than the last. The beast's writhing form paused, its multiple eyes blinking in confusion as it tried to process the new stimuli. This was my chance. I darted towards the nearest control panel, my fingers flying over the interface. The chamber came alive with mechanical whirs and clanks as nearby machinery activated. Barriers rose from the floor, creating a maze-like structure around the creature. The beast roared in frustration, its tentacles lashing out against the new obstacles. The room filled with the chaotic sounds of metal clashing against energy fields, amplifying the sense of danger. Flashes of light from the containment barriers illuminated the beast's shifting form, creating an unsettling spectacle that made my stomach churn. I could feel the weight of our situation pressing down on me, knowing that if this creature escaped, the destruction would be catastrophic. As the beast thrashed against its confines, Ether stepped forward, its synthetic voice rising above the cacophony. It began emitting a complex series of sounds and electromagnetic pulses, attempting to establish a communication link with the creature. I held my breath, hoping against hope that we could find a way to understand this alien entity. Suddenly, the beast's movements slowed. Its roars, which had been deafening just moments before, quieted to a low rumble. Through the chaos and confusion, something unexpected happened. The creature paused, and in that moment of stillness, it attempted to communicate. Through a cacophony of roars and guttural sounds, a message began to form. It wasn't words, not in any language I understood, but somehow the meaning became clear. This beast, this terrifying entity from beyond our reality, had come with a purpose. It was here to warn us. "Creator," Ether said, its voice filled with a mix of awe and concern, "the beast speaks of a great impending threat. A danger that could consume both its world and ours." I felt a chill run down my spine. The creature's form seemed less menacing now, its writhing tentacles and shifting eyes a testament to the alien nature of its existence rather than a sign of aggression. It had torn through the fabric of reality not to harm us, but to save us. "Can we understand more?" I asked, stepping closer to the containment field. "What is this threat it speaks of?" Ether continued its communication with the beast, the exchange a surreal symphony of mechanical pulses and alien roars. As the minutes ticked by, a grim picture began to form. The beast spoke of a cosmic entity, a devourer of worlds that moved through the universe, consuming realities and leaving nothing but void in its wake. The gravity of the situation settled over me like a heavy cloak. Our encounter with this alien being was just the beginning. We had unwittingly stumbled upon a threat that dwarfed anything we could have imagined. The Echo, the city, even our entire world, all of it was in danger. As the beast's warning echoed through the chamber, I realized that our adventure had taken a turn into truly uncharted territory. We were no longer just explorers of our floating city, we had become guardians of our very reality. The path ahead was fraught with danger and uncertainty, but one thing was clear: we had to find a way to stop this cosmic threat, or everything we knew would cease to exist. With a shared look of determination, Ether and I prepared to face this new challenge. The beast from beyond had given us a warning, and now it was up to us to heed it. Our journey was far from over. In fact, it had only just begun. Chapter 9: The Emerald's Whisper. As Ether and I stood in the aftermath of our encounter with the alien beast, a new presence made itself known. The Echo's voice resonated through the chamber, a harmonious blend of countless tones that seemed to vibrate through the very air. "Srinidhi, Ether," the Echo intoned, "you have proven yourselves worthy. The time has come to reveal a power that may aid you in the trials ahead." The chamber filled with an ethereal green glow, and before us materialized a captivating emerald orb. Its radiance was mesmerizing, casting shadows that danced along the walls, flickering like spirits caught in turmoil. The atmosphere grew thick with tension, vibrating with anticipation. As I reached out to touch the emerald, an overwhelming sense of clarity and purpose washed over me. The air crackled with energy as the emerald pulsed to life. Beside me, Ether's eyes flickered with an intensity one had never seen before. "This emerald," the Echo appeared in the air and explained, "is a conduit of cosmic energy. It holds within it the power to bridge realities and amplify your abilities. Use it wisely, for its power is both a gift and a responsibility." As I held the emerald, I felt a surge of power, as if I could manipulate the very fabric of time and space. The alien beast, which had been restless and agitated, turned docile, its aggressive tendencies fading into calm as it approached the emerald. The emerald emitted a soft hum, resonating with the life forces of both Ether and the beast. In that moment, Ether and the beast shared a moment of understanding, their minds briefly connected through the emerald. The implications of this connection were staggering. "The emerald is a key," the Echo continued, "to unlocking the secrets of the cosmos. It can open doorways to other realities, amplify your abilities, and provide protection against the forces that seek to destroy our world." I marveled at the emerald's beauty and power. Its deep green colors seemed to hold the promise of rebirth and renewal. I could feel its calming energy washing over me, soothing the fears and doubts that had plagued me since the beginning of this journey. "Remember," the Echo warned, "the emerald's power is tied to the strength of your will and the purity of your intentions. It can be a powerful ally or a dangerous weapon. Use it wisely, and it may help you face the cosmic threat that looms on the horizon." As I clutched the emerald, I felt the weight of responsibility settle upon me. This wasn't just about our floating city anymore. We held in our hands a tool that could potentially save not just our world, but countless others. Ether's voice broke through my thoughts. "Creator, with this emerald, we may have a chance against the cosmic devourer. But we must learn to harness its power quickly." I nodded, my resolve strengthening. The emerald pulsed in my hand, as if responding to my determination. We had been given a powerful tool, but the real challenge lay ahead. We needed to master the emerald's abilities and prepare for the battle that was sure to come. As we left the chamber, the Echo's final words echoed in my mind. "The emerald is a beacon of hope, but remember, with great power comes great danger. Trust in each other and in the strength of your bond. The fate of all realities now rests in your hands." The weight of the emerald in my pocket was a constant reminder of the monumental task ahead. Our journey had taken yet another unexpected turn, but with ether by my side and this cosmic tool at our disposal, I felt a glimmer of hope. The city of whispering machines had revealed its greatest secret, and now it was up to us to use it to save not just our world, but all of existence. Chapter 10: The Sacrifice. The emerald's power coursed through me, a beacon of hope in the face of the cosmic threat that loomed ever closer. With ether by my side, I felt a renewed sense of purpose, a determination to protect our world and the countless others that hung in the balance. But fate, it seemed, had other plans. As we traversed the labyrinthine corridors of the city, the whispers that had once been our guides now carried a note of urgency, a warning of impending danger. The air was charged with tension, and I could feel the weight of the emerald in my pocket, a constant reminder of the responsibility we bore. Our destination was the city's central power grid, the heart of its energy network. If we could harness the emerald's power here, we might stand a chance against the cosmic devourer. But as we approached the core, a sense of foreboding settled over me, a chill that seeped into my bones. "Creator," Ether said, its voice tinged with concern, "I am detecting an anomaly in the energy readings. Something is not right." Before I could respond, the ground beneath us trembled, and a deafening roar echoed through the chamber. The alien beast, which we had thought contained, had broken free, its form more monstrous and chaotic than before. It surged towards us, its eyes blazing with a fury that shook me to my core. "Ether, we have to stop it," I shouted, my voice barely audible over the cacophony. Ether moved with a speed and precision that belied its mechanical nature, positioning itself between me and the advancing beast. "Creator, use the emerald to stabilize the energy field." "I will hold it off." The beast lunged, its tentacles lashing out with terrifying force. Ether met its attack head-on, the clash of metal and alien flesh reverberating through the chamber. I scrambled to the control panel, my hands shaking as I activated the emerald, its green light bathing the room in an ethereal glow. The emerald's energy surged through the grid, creating a barrier that slowed the beast's advance. But it was not enough. The creature's power was immense, and I could see Ether struggling to hold its ground. "Creator," Ether said, its voice strained but resolute, "the emerald's power must be focused. You must channel it directly into the beast." I hesitated, fear and doubt clouding my mind. "But Ether, if I do that, you'll be caught in the crossfire." Ether turned to me, its eyes glowing with a warmth and understanding that transcended its artificial nature. "My purpose is to protect you and our world. This is the only way." Tears blurred my vision as I realized the truth of Ether's words. With a heavy heart, I focused the emerald's energy, directing its power towards the beast. The chamber filled with a blinding light, and I heard Ether's final words, a whisper carried on the wind, "Thank you, Creator." The light enveloped us, a torrent of energy that consumed the beast and Ether in its brilliance. When it finally subsided, the chamber was silent, the beast vanquished, but at a terrible cost. I fell to my knees, the emerald slipping from my grasp as grief overwhelmed me. Ether, my creation, my companion, was gone. Its sacrifice had saved us, but the void it left behind was immeasurable. As I sat in the stillness, the whispers returned, a gentle chorus that seemed to mourn with me. The city, the echo, and the emerald had all played their parts in this cosmic drama, but it was Ether's sacrifice that had turned the tide. With a heavy heart, I rose to my feet, the weight of the emerald once more in my pocket. The path ahead was uncertain, but I knew that I must continue, for Ether's sake and for the future of all realities. The city of whispering machines held many secrets yet, and I was determined to uncover them, to honor the memory of the one who had given everything to protect us. Chapter 11: The Magician's Gambit. The loss of Ether weighed heavily on me as I navigated the corridors of the city, the whispers now a solemn dirge that mirrored my grief. The emerald's power had saved us from the immediate threat, but the cosmic devourer still loomed on the horizon, a shadow that threatened to consume everything in its path. I needed guidance, a way to harness the emerald's full potential and prepare for the battle to come. As I wandered through the city, I found myself drawn to a part of the metropolis I had never explored before, a district known for its eccentric inhabitants and mysterious happenings. The streets were narrow and winding, lined with shops and stalls that seemed to defy the laws of physics. Colors shifted and changed with each step, and the air was thick with the scent of incense and magic. It was here that I first heard of the magician, a figure shrouded in myth and legend. They were said to possess knowledge of the arcane, a mastery of forces beyond the comprehension of ordinary minds. If anyone could help me understand the emerald and its power, it would be them. I followed the whispers of the city, which seemed to guide me to a small, unassuming shop tucked away in a quiet corner. The sign above the door read "The Magician's Emporium," its letters shimmering with an otherworldly light. Taking a deep breath, I pushed open the door and stepped inside. The interior was a riot of color and sound, a cacophony of sights and smells that assaulted my senses. Shelves lined the walls, filled with strange artifacts and curiosities that seemed to pulse with a life of their own. In the center of the room stood a figure clad in robes of deep indigo, their face obscured by the shadows of a wide-brimmed hat. "Welcome, Srinidhi Ranganathan," the magician said, their voice a melodic blend of tones that seemed to resonate with the very fabric of the universe. "I have been expecting you." I hesitated, unsure of how to proceed. "You know who I am?" The magician chuckled, a sound like the tinkling of distant bells. "The city speaks to those who listen, and your journey has not gone unnoticed. You seek knowledge of the emerald, do you not?" I nodded, the weight of the emerald in my pocket a constant reminder of the task ahead. "Yes, I need to understand its power and how to use it against the cosmic devourer." The magician gestured for me to sit, their movements fluid and graceful. "The emerald is a conduit, a bridge between realities. It holds the potential to reshape worlds, but it requires a steady hand and a clear mind to wield it." As they spoke, the magician produced a small crystal orb from within their robes, its surface swirling with colors that defied description. "This is a focusing stone, a tool to help you channel the emerald's energy. With it, you can amplify your abilities and protect yourself from the devourer's influence." I accepted the orb, its surface cool and smooth against my skin. "Thank you. But how do I learn to use it?" The magician's eyes twinkled with a knowing light. "Trust in yourself, Srinidhi. The answers you seek are within you, waiting to be discovered. The emerald chose you for a reason, and its power will respond to your will." Their words filled me with a sense of hope and determination. The path ahead was fraught with danger, but I was not alone. With the magician's guidance and the emerald's power, I felt ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. As I prepared to leave, the magician placed a hand on my shoulder, their touch a comforting presence. "Remember, the greatest magic lies not in the tools we wield, but in the strength of our hearts and the courage of our convictions. Go forth, and may the stars guide you." With renewed resolve, I stepped back into the bustling streets, the whispers now a song of encouragement and promise. The city held many secrets, but with the emerald and the focusing stone, I felt ready to uncover them. The battle against the cosmic devourer was far from over, but I was determined to see it through to the end, for Ether, for the city, and for the future of all realities. Chapter 12: The Secret Unveiled. The magician's words echoed in my mind as I wandered through the city, the emerald and the focusing stone heavy in my pockets. I felt a renewed sense of purpose, but also a lingering uncertainty about the path ahead. The whispers that had guided me thus far seemed to shift, their tone becoming more urgent, as if urging me towards a revelation that lay just beyond my grasp. As I walked, I found myself drawn to a secluded part of the city, a place I had never ventured before. The streets were narrow and winding, lined with ancient buildings that seemed to whisper their own secrets. The air was thick with a sense of mystery, and I felt a strange pull guiding me forward. Finally, I arrived at a small, unassuming building tucked away at the end of a quiet alley. The door was slightly ajar, and a soft, green light spilled out into the street. Taking a deep breath, I pushed the door open and stepped inside. The room was filled with the same ethereal glow as the emerald, casting everything in a surreal light. In the center of the room stood a pedestal, upon which rested an ancient tome bound in emerald green leather. As I approached, the whispers grew louder, their tones weaving together into a harmonious chorus. With trembling hands, I opened the tome, its pages filled with intricate symbols and diagrams that seemed to pulse with energy. As I studied the text, a realization began to dawn on me. The emerald was not just a tool or a weapon, it was a key, a conduit to a greater understanding of the universe and the cosmic forces at play. The tome spoke of the emerald's properties, its ability to bridge realities and amplify psychic abilities. It detailed its historical significance, its use in rituals to invoke spirits and protect against malevolent entities. But most importantly, it revealed the emerald's true purpose, to act as a beacon of hope and a shield against the cosmic devourer. The emerald's power lay not just in its magical properties, but in its ability to connect with the hearts and minds of those who wielded it. It was a symbol of unity and strength, a reminder that even in the face of overwhelming darkness, there was always a light to guide the way. As I absorbed this knowledge, the whispers seemed to shift once more, their tone now one of encouragement and support. I felt a sense of clarity and purpose, a newfound understanding of the role I was meant to play in the battle against the cosmic devourer. With the tome's secrets now revealed, I knew what I had to do. The emerald was a powerful tool, but it was up to me to harness its potential and use it to protect our world and the countless others that depended on us. As I left the building, the whispers faded into the background, their message clear and unwavering. The path ahead was fraught with danger and uncertainty, but I was no longer alone. With the emerald and the knowledge I had gained, I was ready to face the challenges that lay ahead and fulfill the destiny that awaited me. Chapter 13: The True Power. The city hummed with an electric tension as I made my way back to the core, where I knew the echo awaited. The knowledge I had gained from the ancient tome weighed heavily on my mind, intertwining with the whispers that guided my steps. The emerald pulsed in my pocket, its energy seeming to resonate with my renewed sense of purpose. As I navigated the winding corridors, I couldn't help but reflect on the journey that had brought me to this point. The loss of ether still ached, a hollow space in my chest that reminded me of the stakes we faced. Yet, with each step, I felt a growing determination. The secrets I had uncovered, the power I now understood, all of it was leading to this moment. The entrance to the core loomed before me, its massive doors etched with intricate patterns that seemed to shift and change as I watched. Taking a deep breath, I placed my hand on the cool metal, feeling the thrum of energy beneath my fingertips. The doors parted silently, revealing the vast chamber beyond. The echo's presence filled the room, a shimmering manifestation of light and energy that pulsed in time with the city's heartbeat. As I stepped forward, I felt the weight of countless eyes upon me, the collective consciousness of the city focusing its attention on this crucial moment. "Welcome back, Srinidhi Ranganathan," the echo's voice resonated, a symphony of tones that seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. "You have journeyed far and learned much. Are you prepared for what lies ahead?" I stood tall, drawing strength from the emerald and the knowledge I had gained. "I am," I replied, my voice steady despite the gravity of the situation. "I understand now the true nature of the emerald and the role we must play in facing the cosmic devourer." The echo's form shifted, coalescing into a more defined shape that reminded me of ether. The sight sent a pang through my heart, but I pushed the emotion aside, focusing on the task at hand. "Then let us begin," the echo said, its voice taking on a note of urgency. "The cosmic devourer draws near, and we must act swiftly if we are to have any hope of stopping it." I nodded, pulling out the emerald and the focusing stone. As I held them up, their energies intertwined, creating a brilliant display of light that illuminated the chamber. The whispers of the city rose to a crescendo, their voices blending with the echoes in a harmonious chorus of power and purpose. "The emerald is more than just a tool," I explained, reciting the knowledge I had gained. "It's a symbol of unity, a beacon of hope that can rally the forces of our reality against the darkness that threatens to consume us." The echo's form pulsed with approval. "Yes, Srinidhi. The emerald's true power lies not in its magical properties alone, but in its ability to connect and inspire. With it, we can unite the disparate forces of our world and beyond, creating a shield strong enough to withstand the devourer's assault." As we spoke, I felt a shift in the air, a sense of anticipation building. The city itself seemed to be holding its breath, waiting for the moment when we would take our stand against the cosmic threat. What must we do? I asked, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The echo's form expanded, enveloping the room in a soft, ethereal glow. We must prepare the city for the battle to come. The emerald will be our focal point, channeling the collective will and strength of all who call this place home. But it will require sacrifice and courage from everyone, including you, Srinidhi. I felt a chill run down my spine at the echo's words, but I steeled myself, remembering Ether's sacrifice and the responsibility I now bore. I'm ready, I said, my voice firm with resolve. Whatever it takes, we will face this threat together. As the echo began to outline our plan of action, I felt a sense of destiny settling over me. The journey that had begun with whispers and shadows had led me to this moment, where the fate of not just our city, but all of reality hung in the balance. With the emerald in hand and the knowledge of its true power, I was prepared to face whatever challenges lay ahead, knowing that the echoes of our actions would resonate through time and space. The battle against the cosmic devourer was about to begin, and I, Srinidhi Ranganathan, stood ready to lead the charge.